Hello, good morning, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is Starting Strength with bodyweight and kettlebells for beginners. This is a pretty big kettlebell, pretty heavy. Lauren's is right over there. We also have our chair in the back for a little balance aid. So join us with a bell of your choice to progress your skills with strength, starting with hip hinges and checking in with that breath. So, with your stance, shoulder width apart, or in that swing stance, chop on those hip flexors, press those hips back, and for now, just place those hands right on those knees. At the low back first, let's start by scooping under the tailbone and then tipping the tailbone to the back or the front of the hips forward. Often we use the hips as that punch analogy. So for here, I'll scoop up the punch in that slight posterior tilt, and then tipping the tailbone away, punch might fall out of the bowl. Then keep that long tailbone as long as the low back and hamstrings are fine. Now at the head and neck, I'll look forward to look towards Lauren, and then tucking my chin nice and tight towards the top of the sternum. And then face forward, looking up an extension of the neck. And then that chin tuck, crown away from hips. Let's repeat one more time. Chin up. And then chin tuck, press the feet in the floor, and extend those hips through. How did the low back feel there? How did those hamstrings feel? Prioritize that load on the hips. Let's return to that hinge position one more time. Looking slightly in front of the feet, hands on those legs. Take a big belly breath in, allowing the belly to fall to the floor or lower to the floor. Then exhale, pulling that belly button to spine. Repeat. Breath in, let it fall and relax, and fill, and exhale, pulling the belly button to spine. One more time, breath in, it will fall, or fill, and then exhale, pulling in. Now plug that belly button, hold it tight to the spine, and continue to breathe in. This time, don't let the belly button fall to the floor and exhale, pull it in even tighter. 2 more, breath in, the belly staying nice and tight, and exhale. And for one last time, belly tight, big breath in, and then push the feet away and extend to tall. Shaking that out, let's return to that spine one more time. And this time, think of connecting your sternum towards the ribs. So allowing gravity to do most of this work, slowly flex the upper back, bringing the sternum towards the rib cage. Then lock that sternum down.
Sternum towards the hips.
Sternum towards the hips. And then with the sternum to hips, try to lift the ribs away from the hips. And could that feel like abs? And then that stretch or extension through the back. Relax in a tall position and repeat again. Low effort here. Let flexion happen, bringing the sternum towards the hips. Then fasten the sternum to the hips with those abs, but lift the ribs away from the hips. But keep your brace. Keep your brace. Feel that extension. And then let's relax and shake. I'll grab Lauren's chair from the back, and now we'll go on to some hip bars.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Some hip bars. Grab a balance aid. And we'll explore our hip bars once on straight legs each direction and then once on bent legs. So standing up tall on your inside leg, take the outside leg and point it to the front. Right away, let's externally rotate it or inseam up. Keep the inseam forward as you draw that circle to the side. And right there, pause. Are both your hips still pressing forward and you're tall on that inside leg? Then hide the inseam or internally rotate on the femur and continue reaching around that circle all the way around to the back. At the back, roll over the foot and pull underneath, growing tall. Same thing to the back. Reach along. Still keep that core brace, not arching the low back. Then rotating the femur and external rotation in the socket, bringing it to the side so that inseam's forward. And then all the way around to the front. Pull, returning the leg underneath. We'll repeat, but on a bent leg. Keeping the quads parallel, bend to the outside knee. Reaching back a little bit, let's gently open up to the side, sending that knee to the side, and the foot will connect with our knee. Right here, pause. Again, hips are level, tall on that inside leg, prying that leg to the side. Then pull the leg to the front. Keep it bent, brushing it parallel. Let's repeat, but to the front. This time, hip flexion, knee comes up. Foot connects with that knee. Keep it there as you send the leg to the side. Then disconnect that foot. Internally rotate on the femur or hide the inseam, keeping the hips level as you reach around to the back. Bring it through center, quads parallel, leg straightens underneath. Shake it out. Switch sides.
We switch
Same
sides.
thing. Other side. Straight leg first. Tall on the inside leg. Point to the front. Then externally rotate, inseam up. Send that leg to the side. From there, internally rotate, hiding the inseam as you reach around to the back, but still keeping those hips level. Roll over the foot and grow tall underneath. Repeat to the back. Reach long. Still brace, no arching. Open up in the socket as you bring that leg around to the side. Inseam is now forward. Continue that all the way around to the front and pull back under. Let's repeat on the bent leg with the quads parallel, bend the knee. From here, hip extension, reaching back a little bit, and then rotate it in its socket, sending that knee to the side. Foot connects with knee. Hold here, hips are level. Pull the leg to front, brush to return to parallel. Keep that knee bent, repeat to the front. Hip flexion, knee comes up, foot finds knee. Open side, send it there. Disconnect. Internally rotating without unleveling the hips, reaching around out to the back. Brush so those quads are parallel again, and then straighten the leg. Returning it to the floor and shaking it all about.
Staying loose, following all of those directions, and maybe the get up will sound easier after all of that. But linking the muscles and the mind to your movement, let's go through the alphabet shapes for the shoulders. Standing in a position that's comfortable for you, that could be your wider squat stance. Start with the palms facing forward and the elbows extended. At this place, lightly elevate the shoulders as in a shrug. Let's let up win, or the shrug win, but shore up the tension by pulling down those scapula or shoulder blades. Maybe you feel your triceps get jacked, or those armpits start to really feel tight. And then relax. Now pretend we're holding some kettlebells in our hands and the shoulders might, drive down to those hips. Let's let down win, and then from this upper shoulder musculature, try to shrug. Let down win, and just shore up that tension or slack. So as we elevate the shoulder or shrug, we're continuing to also pull down. And then relax. Let's keep those things in mind and take those arms, bending at the elbows to show the W shape. Pull the shoulders low and keep the shoulder blades nice and stable. From the W, let's extend on the elbows, slowly out towards the T shape. The palms could be forward or slightly turned up, but the elbows are straight. Pull those side walls in, pulling those elbows back towards the ribs. Stay in that W to T shape, or challenge it as we go from the W towards a Y. In the Y, the armpits or those lats are pulling down, and we're trying to get those elbows as safely straight as possible. Then pull those elbows back to the ribs. For one more time, from the W to the T, or Y, or I, pull those armpits low, and as you reach towards that safe overhead, we're stabilized by the feet, the butt cheeks, the abs, and yes, those armpits. When the arms are fully straight, let's continue to pull those elbows to the rib cage as if we're doing our pull-up. Finish with the palms forward, and again, that little shake, wiggle, and roll. Let's go back to the hinge. I'll get you there, and then from there, Lauren will cue our get up to standing. So feet in that warm-ups position, just like the hinge, chop across. Hands could find themselves on those shins. And do we feel the load on the hamstrings? If not, by single degrees at a time, just straighten your knees, which probably makes them more vertical and increases the load on the butt cheeks, hamstrings. Then let's break some of those rules, tip forward, get to the floor any way that's good for you. And then Lauren will take us through a nice mobility get up here.
Lying on your back. Let's all do the same side so that my cues can be understood by all. Your right arm is going to be extended up towards the ceiling. Yeah, let's do that. Right leg will be bent, foot flat on the floor. Left leg will be out straight. Left arm parallel with that left leg, about out from the belt line. From here, pack your right shoulder like you're juicing an orange in your armpit. Check out your wrist. It should be nice and straight. And let's keep a fist here. Pushing your right foot into the floor, feel that energy go up into your butt cheek. Keep driving that foot into the floor, extending your hip, and then pull on your elbow to get to that first move. In this first move, let's shrug our bottom shoulder or our left shoulder into our ear, and then press the floor away, engaging that lat. Let's keep that shoulder packed then as we find our hand. And again, do the same thing. Left shoulder goes up into the ear or shrug, and then engage the lat and press the floor away. Keep that position here as we then bridge and lift. Let's pause just for a second, and then sweep that leg long underneath. Let's take our right arm and just cross it across our chest here. Let's take our head and look at our left hand, and then take our shoulders and close up those shoulders towards the floor. Then from there, our head will look back up towards the ceiling, and our shoulders will open to that side wall, stacking again. Pressing the floor away, extending the hips through. Front foot will move, getting into your lunge position. From this lunge position, let's just hike a hip and pull it down, and lift that right hip up again and pull it down. And then let's tuck under by squeezing our left butt cheek and tucking that hip under, and then just relax. And then re-tuck under. Keep your shoulders stacked on top of your hips as you drive into the floor with both legs and press through to tall. You can let that right arm go. We'll hinge back down.
Hinging back down. So set up your feet in your hinge stance and personalize that. Lauren has shorter legs than me, believe it or not, so her stance might be a little bit different. Turn out, turn in, check out what feels right. Set up that hip hinge. Spend 5 seconds here and very gently just extend on those knees to really feel the load on the hamstrings. Then break some of those rules, get down to the floor, and to keep things even, it's the left side, Lauren.
The left side, everyone. Lying on the floor. This time, the left arm is extended up towards the ceiling. The left leg is bent, foot near the buttocks there. Right foot, right leg out straight. Right arm parallel with that leg. Pack that left shoulder. Push the left foot into the floor, sending up energy up to the butt cheek. Keep extending that hip, and then pull on your right elbow. From this position, don't move. From this position, let's shrug our right shoulder, slumping into it, and then press away, growing tall. Keep that position in the shoulder as you press into the floor, finding that tall sit. Let's be lazy for a second, ear and shoulder, and then again, press away. From here, lift those hips, extending, pausing for 1 second, and then sweeping that leg underneath. Right here, we took our left arm and we crossed it across our chest. Then our head is going to rotate to look at our hand, and then our shoulders are going to rotate towards the floor. Take a second, rotate the head back up towards the sky, and then rotate the shoulders to stacked. Press the floor away, extending the hips, heel toe that foot to center. And right here, let's hike our left hip and then pull it down, and hike a lefty and pull it down. And then let's tuck under, squeeze that right butt cheek, extending the hip forward, and relax. And then tuck and squeeze again, drive into the floor with the front foot, drive into the floor with the back foot, press through to tall.
And there we are.
Did you get your lefts and rights right?
Standing up.
Correct.
You got it. So we have our kettlebells. Let's grab those and have them nearby. We've warmed up that bodyweight hinge. If that's a new move for you, go back to it, or join us as we prepare to lift the kettlebell. To deadlift that kettlebell, I'll have the handle perpendicular with the feet or the long ways across. It's bisecting those shins, or even if it was slightly behind us. Hinging on those hips, looking just a couple feet out in front, try to find the kettlebell with your hands without looking at it. Nice and control. From here, perhaps grip hard on that bell with the hands, pack the shoulders, and we talk about a preload. Could you imagine picking it up, but 99.99999% of that weight is still on the floor, then let go and extend. And maybe even 100% is really on the floor. 100% was still on the floor, but we're starting to feel the load in our body.
Oh.
Let's repeat that one more time. Sometimes it does take a little effort to get that up-down action going here. So we'll hinge, we'll go bare hands on, firm grips. Pack the shoulders just like Lauren cued in the get up, and pretend to lift, feeling the tension build from the feet to the glutes, to the hams, to the core. Then let go and hinge up. We'll deadlift, we'll kettlebell swing, and we'll also refine that swing with some of our bodyweight drills. Take it away, Lauren. Show us what drill to start with.
All right. I think I'm just going to clear that area out of the way. Let's start in our hinge position. No kettlebell. Hip hinge, imaginary bell on the floor in front of you. Extend your arms and touch your bell. Imaginary. Pack your shoulders. From here, stay the same height, but pull the bell to the zipper of your pants. Now keep your hands there as your hips extend. Hips extend, pop. Bell starts to float. Pause here at the top. Pull your shoulders into that retraction and juice an orange in your armpit. Now, I come through the screen, I punch you in the stomach, I punch you in the butt. It's tight. Arms start to fall. Don't move. Don't move. Better move. Hip hinge. Let's pattern that again. Keep it here. Tight to the body. Hips extend through. Blast off. Pause at the top. Shoulders are already in retraction. Lats engaged, butt squeezed, abs braced. Bell starts to fall. Don't move. I lied one more time. Three's better. Hip hinge. Let's pick up the pace a little bit. Hips extend. Bell flings and floats. Pauses for a second. Starts to fall. Hip hinge. Let's place that imaginary bell back on the floor with control. Let go. Up without.
Awesome.
That's a nice pattern for our body weight. Remembering that's obviously a little slower than the real swing.
You got it. But pattern it first. We pattern that get up. We've said hello to that kettlebell. No rules. Let's get down and give it a cuddle. And our first kettlebell hold today will be that firing range position. So no rules. Come on down however it works. And again, 20 to 30 seconds, depending on if I can keep track of it, honestly, in our firing range position. We'll go firing range right and follow with a body weight get up on the same side. So let's start in that cuddle. I have my pinky side near that corner. Nice strong wrist with a firm grip. Roll to the back. I use two hands and I'll press. Then I'll take the other hand away. Keep two hands on if you need. And for 20 to 30 seconds here, build awareness and strength underneath of this load. We're in the get-up pose. So that's my right arm loaded with my right knee bent. Brace the core. Stiffen the grip. Stiffen that elbow. And as Lauren loves to say, juice that orange in the armpit. Now, let's call that 20 or 30. We'll go two hands on the bell. Pull the elbow to the hip. And then turn in a cuddle. Let go. The rules here are no heads over the bells, so I would recommend that those feet.
You have to do a get up.
Oh, I was getting excited to hold the load again. Lauren, you're right. Let's just do it.
Get up. Take that same arm, extend it up towards the ceiling. Same leg bent. Other legs heavy on the floor. Push, roll, pull to elbow. Find your hand. Keep that shoulder packed as we bridge and sweep. Let's keep that arm up there as we press the floor away. Front foot moves, keeping the shoulders over top of the hips, press through to tall. Repeat the down. Step back lunge, control down. Front foot opens, add that upper body rotate, hip hinge, hand finds the floor, stack your shoulders, then sweep. Find the elbow, keeping that proud shoulder, and press away from the elbow to your back. Pull the imaginary bell down. Now turn around with your bell.
The only rules here, again, is don't bonk your head on the kettlebell. So for that, I like to sweep my feet over top. And then get it just right. Space between your bottom and your Chester field and your best partner here. And with a firm grip, roll to your back. Two-hand press. And as you feel safe and strong, take the other hand away. Finesse that get-ups position. What about that straight leg? The bent leg, push it into the floor. Then we can talk to that rib cage, shoulder, armpit combination. Is your grip still strong? Stacked, elbows, wrists, and shoulders on top of one another. Juice that orange. Find the strength in that armpit. And we have about 5 more seconds left. Breathe, brace, 2 hands on. Cuddle that down to the hip and return the load to the floor. Then let's take that same hand, barehanded this time, into the get-ups position, and then press through the floor, extending the hip, pulling on the elbow. The tall sit is next, pressing the floor away throughout. We bridge, we sweep, continue to look at that bell until now. Now look at the horizon, straighten out the lunge, core brace, and then pull that imaginary kettlebell back down to the rack and shake that out. There we go. Let's get back down to the floor though, because I said 1 more time of each. So no rules. How's Lauren going to get down?
I'm going to complete my half get up.
Complete the half get up. That's probably the best idea. So let's just join in there. So here we are, left side down, nice and control. No rush, but I know I messed that up. So let's get back on it. Okay. So to finish here, we'll go 1 more time with the firing range on rights and lefts right away. No get-ups in between. Let's do it. So we cuddle it, take our breath, roll, press, pack the shoulder, finalize, finesse that get-up stance, looking for full body tension and control and strength. The pec on the front is smushing itself in to help stabilize at the shoulder, as is that armpit. The elbow's straight, the grip is firm. I'm shaking a little bit under this new load. Breathe, brace, 5 more seconds. Always finish with control, so that includes 2 hands on, pull to the hip, and then to the cuddle. Right away, no more get-ups, at least not for now. Let's get the cuddle going on the other side. Continue to place that pinky side near the corner. Nice firm grip. Pack and shoulder, and press to overhead, and nice and control. Do you have one side that's more familiar, we'll call it, than the other, or one side that just can't seem to get it? Pack your shoulder, choose the right load for you to build the strength and endurance for this move. The firing range, that includes grip strength, straight elbows, pat shoulders, cores braced, and for 5, 4, 3, 2 hands on, bring it down, and then cuddle. From here, there's no rules, so take your time coming up. Need a hand? Of course not.
No.
But I like to offer anyway. That's 2 sets of our firing range with some bodyweight get-ups. We'll continue our loaded carries here today, progressing to our low carries and single leg hinges.
All right, standing over top of your bell. We'll revisit our deadlift to pick this up. Chop, chip, chop those hips back. Nice vertical shins, nice long spine. Both shoulders are square to the floor. Keeping those shoulders square to the floor, extend, reaching towards your bell with one hand. I like my other hand mirroring out front just to stay that squareness. Pack the shoulders. Yes, that was a good sentence. Brace your core and picking that bell up, putting it to a side, and keeping yourself up tall. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my ups, downs here. Pull that shoulder up into that retracted position. Little slightly elevated, slightly retracted. Trying to keep the weight even in both feet. Squeeze your glutes, brace your core. Don't be slumpy towards that bell. Use the other side to keep you upright for 5, 4, 3. Step. Use your hinge, pushing both hips back again. Square to the floor. Up without. Same thing, second side. Chop those hips back. Hand reaches towards the bell. Square up, packing the shoulders. Preload, up as one unit. Step, bringing that bell to the side. Think about where your shoulder is. Is it getting sucked and pulled out of the socket, or is it retracted and supported in there? Brace core, working hard on that opposing side. All your cheeks are squeezed. Even your face. Pack your shoulder, brace your core for 5, 3, 2, Step, square up, hinge, up without. Nice. From here, we're gonna work on that single leg deadlift. Either staying where you are, moving to a little bit of space. Chop your hips, pressing them back into your two-legged hinge. Now, start transitioning or shifting weight onto one of your legs. You will see that shift, but try to keep that hinge and that hip reaching back. Now take the other leg, reaching it long to the side. You're gonna draw a quarter circle all the way around to the back. This is where I get to use the word verticalize. So pull that hip up, trying to verticalize your front shin. Stand up by driving the hip through, extending to tall. Repeat, same thing, other side. Hips chop. Push the weight over the other side. Reach along with the leg. Stay connected to the floor as you draw that quarter circle. Lift the hip a little bit, making that shin more vertical. And then as one unit, stand up. One more time each side. Hip hinge. Transition that weight, keep the spine long, core braced. Reach long out the back. Lift the hip a little bit, and then load it, standing up tall. One last time on the other side. Hip hinge. Transition that weight. Reach long. Keep the connection. Lift just a little bit, and then one unit up to tall. Shake it out. Repeat again.
Yeah.
Low carry.
2 sets, I'm in.
Stand over top of your bell. Use your double hinge. Well, two-legged hinge. Grip with one hand. Pack shoulder, preload, and then up as one. Put it beside you. Retract your shoulder. Brace your core. Stay where you are. Go for a little walk. March on the spot, adding a little bit of movement to change the dynamics of this exercise. Hold for another 4, 3, 2. Get in your proper hinge stance. Bring the weight in front. Both hips push back, shoulders square. Up through center. Same thing, second side. Hinge. Square up, grip, pack. Tall. Move it beside you. Retracted shoulder. Brace core. Glutes squeezed. March as allowed. Making sure that bell doesn't tip or pull you around. You're in charge of it. Last 2 or so. Keeping that shoulder packed. And then pulling the bell through center. Hip hinge. Park. Up without. One more time on our single legs.
Yeah.
I'm going to move this a little bit.
I need a little bit more room too.
All right. Double hip hinge first. Both hips go back. Load up a single side. Trying to keep that hinge position as you draw the circle to the back. Lift a little bit. Feel that load. Up through tall. Fully extend that hip. Brace your core. Step hinge. Transition that weight. Reach along. Keep that connection. Lift it a bit. Over and up. Last time each side. Hinge. Press over. Reaching long. Keeping the connection. Lift the hip a bit. Roll through to toe. Last time. Hip hinge. Transition that weight. Keep touching the floor. Load the hip even more. And then stand up as one unit. And shake it out. Nice.
Those single leg hinges have been a favorite for a while. Jacob Harden on Instagram, right? He was one of the first people to kind of show us that variation. But working on those single leg hinges, feeling those hips.
Goblet holds.
From feeling those hips, we will sure feel those grips on this next exercise, that goblet hold grip. So Lauren, just do one quick example for us. We'll take that kettlebell from the deadlift, zip up a coat, if you will, or tight to the body, aiming to catch it in this goblet position. I'll be holding it here. Lauren may look through that window with the elbows in tight, looking through the window of the kettlebell. It will make it harder. The likelihood is our default position again is something on the low back, and that will help if our goal was just to simply hold it. But the goal is to make it harder than it needs to be. Let's find a way to load up the glutes, but also those abs on the front. So we'll use 2 hands here as we clean into that goblet hold. Standing right over top of that kettlebell, we set up that hip hinge. The preload, feel that load in your arms and then zip and up. 20 to 30 seconds, also depends on how heavy this is in my hands here, but the glutes are squeezing as the feet press on the floor. The kettlebell is just a millimeter off the chest. Try to avoid holding it directly on the body. That's been a quick 15. We'll keep going here. That's about 20, we'll go about 10 seconds more. The load is in the front, but we're using those shoulder blade muscles, those rhomboids, to squeeze and support that load in the front. With a second left, return the kettlebell to the floor, shake out those arms, and work now on a bodyweight squat. We could use that kettlebell grip in this movement and call it a goblet squat. But for today, nice and easy in regards to the squat. Slowly start to pull your legs together without bending. Heighten that tension on the adductors or groin. And from there, we'll slowly pull ourselves to your low squat. From there, press the feet into the floor, cramp those glutes and abs. Lauren's threat of coming through the computer screen and smashing you on the abs looms large throughout this entire practice.
It's real.
Pull yourself down and maybe make those adjustments that it can get just right where you want. Then take a breath in, brace those abs and drive down to stand up. Lauren's favorite number is also 3. So let's do that one more time. Nice and slow. Feel that tension as we descend and pull ourselves to our safe low squat. Brace on those abs, drive to tall, and shake. That rest thing, the rest came around pretty quick here, but this will be our final hold with that goblet position. Ready to go?
Ready, Freddie.
Okay, so shake it out in between, use the appropriate load for you, and with 2 hands on the kettlebell, we'll zip it up and hold it in the goblet. In 3, 2, 1, it's zipped. The elbows are tight, the load is in the front, but it's supported with the upper back and abs, not the low back. If we feel our low back during this, we need to switch. If we need to make it harder, don't think I can. Not this one. We're gonna try to look through that kettlebell window, keeping the shoulders pulled back. That's been 25 seconds. Let's try for 5 more here. Are you quivering, sweating? I'm doing all the above. And then return the kettlebell to the floor. Shake it out. And let's return to the squat for one more set.
Squat.
Again, we can squat with super narrow feet, like if we're skiing, or super wide if we're in our sumo. Find out that Goldilocks position for you. 3 squats.
3 squats.
Pull. Nice and control. Mind your kettlebells around. Take a breath in. Brace on the abs. Drive down to grow up. Repeat. The pull. Control the descent down. Then when you're at your safe low, a breath in.
Whoops, sorry.
And then up. I get why you want to be fast down there. It's tough work being down there. So for one more time, we'll pull ourselves low. Breath in. And then abs, 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 abs. Drive those hips to tall. And shake. Nice. Well,
Swing time.
it's kettlebell swing time. So if you feel confident with us to join us in this hinge series, it'll be I go, you go. I'll do 5 swings, followed by Lauren's 5 swings, followed by Lauren's 6 swings, followed by my 6 swings. And nice and slow, we'll go 5, 6, 7, 6, 5. Work with one of us, watch the other, and I will let Lauren be the I so she can go first here today.
Great.
But we're looking for kettlebell swings. It could be your chop and pop. It could be that shadow swing from before, or just nice controlled repetitions of your deadlift. Let's get some aerobic stuff going on here, that weighted cardio, as Lauren goes 5, 4, 3. Nice swings throughout. The same swing throughout, except maybe more and better because you're just thinking about it. Here we go.
All right, team Ian, 5 swings. Pack the shoulders right away. Bracing the core. Bell is always coming to the zipper of your pants, keeping it tight to the mid-body so we don't get roundy in that low back.
You got it. So timing that kettlebell swing that Lauren's in that plank for as long as possible adds the safety and efficiency of the swing. This set we're going for 6, just one more than that previous set. Shake it out.
Whew.
And then we go
6.
next.
Team me in here. 6-ish swings. Pull and snap. Trying to match Ian's timing if you're at home, wondering about your timing. Try to keep up with our swings. And it'll be great.
There we go. There's our 6. This set here represents the highest number of repetitions for today at 7.
7.
It's the same, but maybe your awareness is heightened. Your form is preparing for amazing things here, with the feet being heavy, the glutes extended, and I know Lauren's ready to take that punch and a park. Whew.
Nice. 7 swings, team me in here. Packing, pulling, and each time glutes and abs. Glutes and abs. Inhale them down. Exhale as those hips snap through. 7. 7.
Whew.
I didn't count.
That was 7.
6.
We're going back down the hill now, or pyramid. As you go back towards 6 repetitions. Strong, stable. You can hear the power breath. The timing looks great too. And soft when we park.
Nice. Putting down
6.
and picking up with control. As well, the top of our swing ends at chest height there, with those shoulders retracted and arms extended. 6 for Team Ian, and then last set for us for 5.
There we go. 5. 5 feels so nice. And even just doing a couple extra here and there can really add to resiliency and strength overall with the kettlebell. But rests, they come around quicker too when you only do 5. So
5
here we go.
swings, Team Ian, last set here. Keeping them just as strong as swing number 1 that you started with today. And parking it with control.
There we go.
Nice. Take a couple breaths.
Exactly. Let's take that moment, maybe hand belly, hand chest, and take some nice slow recovery breaths. Into the belly, take a big one. And then take an exhale and force it out. Now take another big breath in. And force it out. In control of that exhale. 3 more. Breath in. Force that exhale. 2 more. Force it. And 1 more time. Force the exhale. Stay in charge.
Nice.
I'll toss the torch to Lauren, though. She's in charge to finish something on the ground, maybe, right?
Let's come on down. Anyhow you want. Come to the floor. And let's end, though, in our 90-90. So that means one leg will be bent out in front of you with that knee in line with the hip and the ankle also at 90 degrees or in dorsiflexion. The back leg is in line with your back hip, bent at 90, ankle also at 90. From there, you okay there, Dragon? Catching his breath.
Hard breathing today.
It's humid. Let's come out here and find that elbow. Our bottom shoulder position, just like we were in our get up earlier.
Isn't that loud?
All I can hear is,
I'm sorry. Cover the mic.
bottom shoulder is packed. Top of arm across your body. Now keep that back hip extended or squeezing, pressing forward. From here, head looks towards the elbow on the floor. Then shoulders will close up towards that elbow, but as you do this, keep pressing the back hip forward. Then head will rotate up towards the ceiling. Shoulders will rotate open. Keep pushing the back hip forward. 1 last time. Head rotates closed. Shoulders follow. Hip still stays in extension. Head rotates open. Shoulders rotate open. Let's stay here, packing the bottom shoulder, extending that hip. Take a breath. Exhale. And then just gently press the floor away. And let's repeat the same thing on the other side. So again, that front leg is out in the 90 position, 90 at the ankle as well. Back leg, 90 and 90. Find that bottom elbow. I have my elbow in line with about my hips there, and that shoulder packed. From here, top arms across the body. Head rotates to look at the elbow. Oh, wait, come back to center. Extend that back hip forward. Squeeze the back butt cheek. Then head rotates to elbow. Shoulders rotate, close, keep the hip extended. Head rotates open. Shoulders rotate open, keep extending the back hip. Head rotates towards the floor. Shoulders square up. One last time, head rotates open, shoulders rotate open, hip is still extended. Take your breath here, just opening up. Exhale, pressing the floor away. Finding a comfortable place to say our good day.
Yes.
Goodbyes.
A good hellos and goodbyes. Excellent. So again, this has been a bodyweight and kettlebell experience for beginners, but I found that pretty challenging, and I would say I'm not a beginner. Using the right load will help you in your kettlebell practice, and picking those right skills to help you progress. Join us on Tuesdays for advanced skills.
Advanced.
Keep it here to keep it with those kettlebell basics, that one day you could join us at a more advanced practice. It's great the way it is, right? We love it day to day. We train with our bar, we train with our bell, and thank you to our members and patrons for being exceptional students and, you know, consistent. We're intense about consistency. Thanks so much. My name's Ian.
I'm Lauren.
Together we stay strong, we take care, and we look forward to training with you soon. Have a good day. Goodbye.
Goodbye.